Kids for Kids week 4, and in this recipe we're going to make some homemade whole wheat tortillas. So it's a very easy recipe because you only need 4 ingredients. So all you're gonna need is some whole wheat flour. We're gonna add it into our bowl. You're gonna need a 1/4 cup of oil. So whatever oil you have at home, go ahead and use that one. We're just gonna use the one we have here at the food bank. Some salt. And about a little bit over 1/2 cup of water, just a tiny bit of water. And all we're going to do, since our water is hot, all we're going to do, we're going to use a spatula to mix it first. And just making you aware that the water, we heated it in the microwave for about a minute or so, so it's pretty hot. And whenever you get your flour, you're gonna notice it's gonna be more than the 1 1/4 cups we're giving you for the mix you need. That is so we can sprinkle over. So make sure you measure your flour you're gonna use in here before you start. So we're just gonna mix all this in here. And once it kind of looks like this, a little crumbly, or you see everything coming together, you're going to start using your hands. And if you think it's still a little too hot, go ahead and ask your parents, or you can wait a little bit until it's not as hot anymore. And you're just gonna mix and mix and mix with your hands until your dough comes together. And this is what's gonna happen. So right now, you see that whenever we're mixing, you see that whenever I grab the little ball and make it into the dough and make it into a little ball, it's not sticking. So that means it's a little too dry, that our dough is a little too dry. So that means we're gonna need more water. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little bit of more water, and I'm gonna heat it up for about another minute or so, and then I'm gonna add it in here, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so I added a tiny, tiny bit of water, and as you can see, we're gonna give it another try, and as you can see, our little ball of dough formed just perfectly. So now we're gonna set this aside real quick. We're gonna grab our flour, and we're just gonna sprinkle some flour over our table. This is the time to not be afraid to get dirty, because you are going to get pretty dirty, but it's okay. You're gonna have fun, and don't forget to clean up after this. So we're just gonna make sure our flour is distributed around our table, and you're gonna grab your flour, this flour right here, and then your dough, put it to the side. You can just do this. We're gonna grab a little ball of dough. We're gonna make it into a little circle. We're gonna push down, and we're gonna use our rolling pin. You're gonna have a rolling pin in your kit, so that's gonna be awesome. You're not gonna have to worry about looking for one or going to buy one. So you're gonna get your rolling pin, and you're gonna roll in and out, and then you're gonna kind of flip it like a tortilla. You're gonna roll in and out again, and then what you're gonna do is you're going to grab your dough, your tortilla, you're gonna kind of turn it around like a square. You're gonna roll in and out, and then you're gonna turn it around just a little bit, roll in and out, and you're gonna do that until you have as close to a circle as possible, okay? So I don't guarantee I'm gonna get a circle done right here, but that's okay. We're gonna try our best. So we're gonna roll in and out, in and out. So your rolling pin is only gonna go towards you and away from you. So you don't have to roll any other way. And then in. You're gonna do that until you get kind of like a circle. And then if you need to fix something, you can. But you don't have to worry about it being perfect, because we're gonna make these into tortilla chips, and that's gonna be really cool, and you're gonna see how they look like in a little bit. So I'm gonna roll the rest of my dough, and I'm gonna try to make as many tortillas as I can. Okay, so our tortillas are ready. As you can see here, these are different shapes and sizes, but it's okay. We're gonna make them into tortilla chips like I said. This is what a tortilla looks like. It's not a perfect circle, so I hope my mom's not watching. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my tortilla and I'm gonna put it in my pan for about maybe 2 to 3 minutes until it's kind of cooked from the bottom, and then we're gonna flip it over. And you're gonna use a little spatula to flip it over, and we're gonna make sure we grab our tortilla with our spatula. You can use your hand to grab it on this side if you want. Just be very careful because it's gonna be very hot. And if you don't feel safe or confident just yet, you can always ask your parents. So what you're gonna do is grab your tortilla and you're gonna flip it over until your tortilla is cooked. So once it's cooked, I'm gonna show you how it looks like so you can have a better idea of what it's gonna look like. All right, so as you can see, this tortilla is ready from one side, and you can see because it kind of bubbles. You see the little bubbles on top? So what you're gonna do is you're going to grab your tortilla and you're gonna flip it over, and you're gonna see the bubbles that were on the other side. You're gonna see them and you're gonna see that they're cooked. So that means our tortilla is cooking. So you're gonna do the same thing on the other side for the other side, and then it's gonna be ready, okay? Okay, so our tortillas are ready. As you can see, they don't look perfect and are not in a perfect circle. They're not all the same size, but it's okay. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna stack them all together. This is gonna be a trick. You can either do it one by one, or you can stack them all together like I'm gonna do right now. It'll just save you a lot of time. But if you like to practice on your cutting skills, you can do one by one. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our knife and we're going to grab our tortillas and we're going to cut through the middle in a saw motion. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put these to the side and then grab one of the halves, and then we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna stack them together. We're gonna put them right here, and then we're gonna do the same thing with our other part. Okay, so we're gonna put our tortillas in our baking sheet. What we're gonna do, we're gonna spread them out. If you think these are a little too big, you can you're more than welcome to cut them even more. You can even tear them. You can also just fold them and tear them. We're just gonna make them into some tortilla chips. We're gonna make them look like tortilla chips. You can make them any shape you want. You can make them into circles. You can make them into hearts. This one kind of looks like a heart. This one's more of like a triangle. It's a little bigger. Okay, here we go. We're gonna add some oil, just a tiny bit of oil. You can ask your parents or you can do it yourself. I'm gonna just drizzle some oil, just a little bit, just like this. And we're gonna spread it all over our tortillas. And once we do that, we're gonna take it to our oven at about 350 degrees for about maybe 5 to 7 minutes. And once that time goes by, you're gonna see that they're crunchy and they're gonna look like chips. So we're gonna do that right now. Okay, so our tortilla chips are ready. They're actually pretty cool, as you can see. As you can see, they're a little bit crispy or very crispy. I'm gonna see if you can hear. They kind of break. They're super good. And if you don't want to eat them plain, you can always use things such as some salt. I recommend you put very, very little salt, so we can do that right now. I just added some salt to my palm, and I'm just gonna sprinkle over just a little bit. And then you can also use something like Italian seasoning and season your tortilla chips with some Italian seasoning. And then just mix it up, and then they're ready. So you can use this to dip any sauces, if you have any cheese, any salsa. And you know, this week we made the artichoke dip, so you can always use your tortilla chips with your artichoke dip. So I hope you make these and you enjoy them.